Greetings, everyone. This is Halo the Terror of Death 99, aka the Black Cobra, and this is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. This is the second game, and we're working on the second case. Now, when we last left off, one moment, please. I'll explain in a moment. Now, when we last left off, we actually found out that Dr. Turner Gray had actually been murdered. And somebody was actually trying to put somebody was trying to frame Maya for the killing. We also found out that the person who was actually with Morgan, Maya's aunt, and her little cousin, Pearl, was actually a nurse who actually worked for Dr. Gray named Eenie Miney. Actually, it was her older sister, Mimi Miney, who actually worked for Dr. Gray. What we're actually going to find out is we're actually going to try to find out who the actual killer is. Because we already know it's not Maya. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? We also found out one more thing. We actually found out that the prosecutor for this case is actually going to be the daughter of Manfred von Karma, Franziska von Karma. Trust me, if you thought Miles Edgeworth was scary, you have not seen a damn thing yet. Trust me. No, I heard it's his successor this time. Indeed, he was. Maya. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. This is Pearl. She is actually the younger cousin of Maya and the daughter of Maya's aunt, Morgan. Don't be fooled by the way Pearl looks. She may be only 8 years old, but she is actually very smart. Indeed. Yes, she did. She snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Wow. One thing that's actually really nuts is that she actually does this in the anime as well. I'm not joking either. Indeed.
Objection!
Ah, Miles Edgeworth.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
Maya, please do not mention that name ever again. I apologize, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. Back. Very well. Alright. Let's go. Now it's not time to talk about that anyway. Alright, let us begin. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. Defense is ready, Your Honor. This right here is Manfred von Karma's daughter, Franziska. Now, before we continue, one thing I should mention. In the anime, it actually shows what actually happens between Manfred von Karma and Miles Edgeworth. This actually happens after the murder of Edgeworth's father, Gregory. Manfred von Karma actually adopts Miles Edgeworth as his own son. Yes, Your Honor, I am prepared. Miss von Karma? No, I am not. Franziska von Karma. Revenge. And yes, that is a whip she is holding. And she is not afraid to use it. Yes. It is about her father. Yeah. We'll see who's going to be defeated. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Now, there's one thing I often use, there's one quote I often use, and it actually involves that word, perfection. Perfection is nothing more than a myth. Here's an interesting question, my fellow gamers. How many times have you actually seen anyone actually perfect anything? And yes, it is an honest question. Your Honor. Yes. And yeah, she actually does mention that she does say that in the anime as well. Oh, we'll see about that. We usually reserve for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because the plea justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Yes. Very well. Detective. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Detective Richard Gumshoe. Detective at the local precinct. Very well. Now, please take a look at this, everyone. This is going to be very important. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door is locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. They were channeling a spirit, sir. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. Yes. It is indeed when we found Dr. Gray. Don't be so sure. All right. Cause of death. Now, one thing I should mention, this is actually where it gets very odd. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead. The shot was fired from point-blank range. Before the victim was shot, Your Honor, he was stabbed in the chest. Now, this is actually where it doesn't make any sense. If the killer actually did want Dr. Gray dead, why not just shoot him right away? Why would the killer actually stab him? The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used a pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Yes. we have here. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank range. Very well, Your Honor. Hold it! The murder weapon, Detective. Whose pistol was it? Belongs to the victim.
Objection!
I actually believe that's an honest question that Miss Von Karma is actually asking. And I can actually tell you why. It was for self-defense. Now, a lot of people don't actually believe this, but I've actually seen a few doctors that actually own guns legally too, mainly for self-defense. If Maya did actually grab the gun, and yes, her fingerprints would be on the gun. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Hold it! Point blank, huh? How far away is that? That would be 12 to 20 inches. Basically, that would be anywhere between a foot to about a foot to a foot and a half. How do you know he was shot at point-blank range? Oh, Miss Von Karma, do not give me that tisk again. You are not gonna be like your father. Excuse me? That's a good point, the gunpowder burn. That is true. I've actually studied law myself, and I've actually studied forensics as well, so I would know. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. That is very true. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot. There were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Now we're not. This is actually the part I don't get. Hold it. Stabbed. What was he stabbed with? Fruit knife. There is blood on it. There's blood on the blade. Whose knife was it? That is none of your business, Miss Von Karma. Hold it! How severe was the wound? If it had been about half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. That actually would have been a fatal wound. They're stabbed like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Unfortunately, Maya did not know Dr. Gray. This is why I actually believe that Maya is not the killer. In fact, I know. Hold it! Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? One thing that's actually interesting is that I've actually seen, now, I'm not sure if any of you are into crime dramas, but sometimes people actually try to basically try to get away with a crime. They could actually shoot someone to kill them and then stab them afterwards. But yes, in this case, the detective is right. True. That is true. Very well. Okay, there's the pistol and murder weapon. It was Dr. Gray's. 2 shots fired bears Maya's and Dr. Gray's fingerprints. There's the knife. Small fruit knife belongs to the phase, bears Maya's fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. That's true. 2 murder weapons, but both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. It does seem like an open and shut case, but don't be too sure. No. Yes, Your Honor? Yes, I do. I do plan to plead not guilty. And in fact, I'm actually going to show you why. It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. I'm aware of that, Your Honor. justified self-defense? No. Now don't forget what I actually said during my last live stream the other night. I actually said that in this game you have to make huge decisions. And this is actually what I was referring to. If we please justify self-defense, we would basically be confessing the murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor. The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short than a complete acquittal. Incriminating evidence? Very well. Let's take a look. Ah! The bloodstained robe. That's the exact same robe that Maya was wearing during the channeling. Wait a second. Look very carefully, everyone. Take a look at the left-hand side of the robe. You may notice something very, very strange. I actually see a bullet hole. Like I said, nothing escapes these sharp eyes. Actually, we were not. He was fighting back. And how do I know this? One simple way. Now, the good doctor was actually shot only once. However, there were actually 2 gunshots that were actually heard. If Dr. Gray was actually shot only once, where did the second gunshot come from? Answer: Dr. Gray fired the first shot. True. It would directly link Maya Fey to the crime, but how do we know that it was actually Maya who committed the murder? Now, believe it or not, it's not the blood spatter that's actually important. It's that bullet hole. Very well. Oh, trust me, I am not worried at all. Very well. Hold it! Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? I can be scary every single day of the week, everyone. I apologize for that, Your Honor. Hold it! Maya's costume? True, she was wearing that. She's wearing her channeling costume today, too. True, it is covered in blood. Hold it! Blood on the costume. Lab results show it is the victim's blood. Were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence?
Objection!
Something's not right. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. And I know exactly what it is. If you take a quick look at that costume, you'll know exactly what it is as well. Yes, Your Honor? Oh, she does not have perfect logic. There is one little thing. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. Come this far, there's no turning back now. Problem I have with this evidence is right over here.
Take that!
I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. Bingo! Exactly. It's a bullet hole. Gunpowder. Yup. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. No, detective, it's not your fault. Anyone could have actually messed that up. What else is she hiding? Sure. sure about that, Miss Von Karma? That actually proves my theory earlier that Dr. Gray did indeed fight back. Now, here's an interesting question. If Maya was the one who actually did fire the gun, both times, that is, how could she have actually gotten that bullet hole on her costume? Answer, she couldn't have.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. How can you say something like that? That is a huge oversight. Detective, please continue with your testimony. That I don't buy.
Hold it!
Hold it. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? Yes. The victim did have a fight with the murderer. Something isn't right here. And I know exactly what it is as well. Objection, Your Honor. Detective. You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Then what, may I ask, is a bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is that what it means to not fight back? Bingo. There you go. I don't buy it. Yes, I'm aware of that, Miss Von Karma. I'm aware of that, Miss Von Karma. Just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Okay, then what is it supposed to substantiate then? What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of its strength to fight back, sir. When the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because he was too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. True, it would make sense. On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I will not give up that easily. Gladly, Your Honor. Hold it. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. And in body strength, and it seems very unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim.
Objection!
Now, one thing I actually should mention, Dr. Gray stands 6'2". Maya Fey is only 5'4". I mean, Dr. Gray is nearly a foot taller than Maya. Yes, I'm aware of that, Miss Von Karma. She was in the middle of channeling. Yes, I know that. I'm aware of that. Hold it. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound did not kill him. If you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? If someone does actually donate blood, they would actually feel lightheaded. I would know, I've done it myself. When the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Hold it! Where did that pistol come from? Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. What, a handgun? Got off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why Dr. Gray bring a gun? Is he taking precautions against something?
Hold it!
Hold it. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Fine. Really glad you weren't hurt. Hold it! Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. The safety off, even an amateur could fire it just by pulling the trigger. True. It would take a bit of strength to do so, but if the safety was off, an amateur could actually fire that gun. Of course, depending on what type of gun it actually was. If it actually was a heavy gun, then it would actually take quite a bit to fire it. Judging by the type of gun it is, that actually looks like a 22, either a 22 caliber or actually, it does actually look like a 22 caliber. I was actually gonna say it actually looks like a 50 caliber Desert Eagle, but Desert Eagle is actually bigger. Yeah, it definitely looks like a 22 caliber to me. I'm actually not a gun expert myself, but I actually have, I would say I have a decent amount of knowledge of firearms. Even though I haven't fired one myself. Testimony certainly makes us look bad. There's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is gonna uncover the truth. I can feel it.